Welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 4.5, Rounding Real World Context. So rounding can be a little tricky, especially with decimals, but there are some times where you may have to do this in real life. Okay, so one of the things that we're going to do today is we're going to run through this this page with you. It's page 125 in your workbook. We're going to talk about rounding, how it's going to work, and then how we're going to have to explain how we did it. This is important. You're going to need to know how to use math words to explain your math process, okay? Then we're going to talk about how to round, especially with price. So starting with number 1. At the district track meet, I'm going to move it just a little bit so you can see all of it. Oh, there we go-ish. All right. At the district track meet, each running event is timed to the nearest thousandth of a second using an electric timer. However, the district's track rules require the times reported with only 2 decimal places. Round each time to the nearest hundredth of a second. So I'm going to look at number A, rounded to the nearest hundredth. All right, here we go. Circle that digit. I'm going to circle the 5. And I'm just going to go ahead and circle all of them because that's just my process right now. That makes it a little easy for me. Takes a step out of the equation. I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit more clear. All right, here we go. All right, circle the digit, move to the right. It's a 2. So is my 5 going to stay the same or am I going to round up to a 6? Since it's a 2, my 5 is going to stay the same. That means all the numbers to the left will also stay the same. That's how you do this. Let's go to B. Let's try B. It's an 8. So will my 3 go up or will it stay the same? What do you think? It's going to go up. The 8 is going to make me add 1 to it. So 3 plus 1 is 4. The digits to the left stay the same. 55.74. All right, let's go, let's go. All right, 1 is right there. Here we go. 5. Ooh, what do you think? The 5, we're going to add 1 to it. So 1 plus 1 is 2. The rest stays the same. All right, it's a 5. We're going to add 1. I want you to try to do the rest of this problem on your own. I want you to try to do E and F. So pause the video now, work on E and F. When you're done, come back and unpause. Are you back? Awesome. Here we go. 2.98. All right, I'm going to look at that 8. That means my number is going to go up. Now, this one is tricky. If I add 1 to 9, what's my answer? 10. So that turns to a 0, and I carry my 1 to the next column. That's how you do this one. It is a little tricky. So this is what you should have had. 2.10. Here we go. It's a 6. I'm going to add 1. Uh-oh. 9 turns to a 10. Add 1. 9 turns to a 10. Add 1. 2 turns to a 3. My 5 stays the same. This one is probably the hardest one that you're going to have to do. It is extremely tricky. The way that you need to think about this is it's just like if you're adding numbers up and you're having to move them over. This is the same exact idea, okay? Explain how you rounded 20.098 to the nearest hundredth. All right, I want you to pause again and I want you to try to write in words what you think you should do. Try to explain every part and use math terms. All right, here we go. Explain how you rounded it to the nearest hundredth. I looked at the thousandths and saw I needed to round up. My 9 turns to a 10. That means I add 1 to the 10th column to 0.1. And then I just put my answer. That is a good way to explain what you did and why. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you guys can see what I wrote again, just in case you want to write that down. If you need to write this down, go ahead and pause so you have plenty of time to do so. Okay. There we go. Yeah, go ahead and pause if you need to. There we go. All right, another time that you're going to use decimals and rounding is when you're looking at prices of things. So as you get further into 6th grade, you're going to have to find the unit price of things. And the unit price means, like, if I spend $4 for a case of pop, so 12 cans of soda was $4. If I want to know, all right, how much was each can? You would need to divide and figure out how many cents each can would have cost, okay? So unit price is something that can be used when you're thinking about what's the better deal. So if you're ever at the grocery store and you're like, oh, you know, that says it's on sale. So I get $4 for 12 cans. And then I look at this other thing and it says that I get 6 cans for $1. You need to find that unit price and see which one's the better deal. All right. In that case, the 6 cans for $1 is definitely the better deal. You're going to work, like I said, that's something that you work a lot on in 6th grade, but you're going to start with the basics of that right now. So if a supermarket it shows the unit prices of items, it helps customers compare prices to find the best deal. A unit price can be found by dividing the price of an item in cents or dollars by the quantity of the item. When the quotient has more decimal places than are needed, some stores round to the nearest tenth of a cent. So after you divide, you might end up with an answer that is like 3.62918. Do we have coins that cover the smaller of the decimals? No. So they need to round to make it work, okay? So here's what they did. They said a 16-ounce container of yogurt was $3.81. So if I want to know how much that was per ounce, what I would do is I would multiply that by 100 cents to get just the cents. And then I would divide by 16 ounces, and that's what I would get. Now, if I tell you that it was 23.812 cents, do we have the 0.812 cents? No. So in this kind of situation, you're going to round to make it close. All right. A lot of times they're going to use either the round to the nearest tenth or the nearest hundredth. So you just have to kind of be cautious with that and really pay attention. This time they want it to be to the nearest tenth of a cent. Okay. Here we go. 28.374. I'm rounding to the nearest tenth. It's a 7. So is my answer going to go up or stay the same? I'm going to round up. Well, 3 plus 1 is 4. The rest stays the same. That's what you should have gotten. Let's try one more together. Round us to the nearest tenth. It's a 5. 0 through 4, the circle stays the same. 5 through 9, adding 1 is the game. There we go. 1 plus 7 is 8. The rest stays the same. Try to do the last 4 on your own. If you have questions about this, this would be a good thing to make sure that you bring to your teacher during the live lessons. Pause the video, come back when you're done. Did you pause? I hope you did the math on your own. You have to practice in order to know if you understand. If you don't get these right, make sure that you ask your teacher about them when you have your lesson today. 16.916. It's a 1, so my 9 stays the same. I'm sorry, it's a 4, so my 6 stays the same. It's a 5, so I'm going to add 1. My 4 turns to a 5. 18 stays the same. Uh-oh, it's a 6. Add 1. 9 plus 1 is 10. Carry my 1. 1 plus 1 is 2 and 2. That's how you did these problems. I know it's a little tricky. The best advice I have is really find a strategy that works for you. Use the rounding wrap if that helps you. Use rounding methods that you're used to. If you have questions, again, ask your teacher for help. Reach out. We're here to help you. Have a great day, guys.